A doctor saved your life. You know what he said to himself? I am going to be a doctor. Not one of his family ever went to school. And he said to himself, I will even starve myself to put money aside and buy a uniform to go to school. Of which he did. He bought a uniform, dirty, full of holes, and his mother stitched it up and washed it. He went to school for the first time at age 8, and he would start basically kindergarten. He couldn't write, he couldn't read, he couldn't even speak the formal language. He didn't know how to socialize. He was an outcast. He was the poor child. He never saw water come from a faucet out of the wall. He's never seen a shower in his life. He took his first shower at school at age 8. He was last, bullied, last, rejected, last, outcast, always last. Never did he have a friend. And then he worked harder and harder and harder, and he became first, grade 9, 10, 11, 12, first. He became top in the school. He did research. Everyone say research. He found out because he wanted it so bad, he went to go find which scholarships are out there for med school. He found them. He applied to all of them. And every time he got to the interview process and he started telling the scholars and professors his story, they all cried. And at the end of the interview process, they looked at each other and said, you know what, out of everyone that we've ever met that would be interviewing for this scholarship this year, we know you will go the furthest. He got 14 years of school in medicine, fully paid for, 2 specialties, and at age 33, he started his first hospital. Do you know what that takes? Do you know what that takes? We're talking insurance, liability, accounting, practices, doctors, philosophers, the city, the permits, the investors, the entire thing he took at age 33. He started with 10 employees. And I met him when he was 60 on Rodeo Drive in Southern California. He stopped me, really tall man, 60 years old then. He said, Nikki! I said, yes? You don't know me, but I know you. I read your book 14 times. I said, really? He said, yes. I want to bring you to my country. I said, okay. So I gave him my number. Never really went to Brazil for a corporate speaking engagement. At that time, I was charging $25,000 for a speech. When I was telling him, when he asked me, how much is your speech cost? I said, $25,000. He said, what? He said, you need to double it. I said, okay, you be the first one to pay. And he said, I'll take 6. $300,000 contract. It was incredible. Really incredible. Now, little did I know who he was. And do you know who I spoke to? His employees. Do you want to know why he needed 6 days of my time? Because he had 46,000 employees. 46,000 employees. He didn't have one hospital, he had 150 hospitals. Not only did he have hospitals and 46,000 employees, get this. You know, like, I don't know where, like, your company, your governments and stuff. In Australia, there is no private really health insurance, it's Medicare and stuff. In America, there's private health insurance, okay? And everyone has to have health insurance. In Brazil, he started a private health insurance. Listen, 5 million Brazilians were the member of his health care company, watch this, who paid every year 1,000 US dollars. If you do the math, it was a $5 billion a year company. I'll say it again. $5 billion company from a 4-year-old shoe shiner. Stand to your feet, please. So now you can't use against me the excuse. You lived in a house that big. One of my favorite friends, to me, one of the greatest legends ever lived in the motivational speaking industry, my dear friend Les Brown. I had him speak at my event in California for our entrepreneurship seminar in June. And he told all our attendees something, and I want to echo it today because it's so powerful. Before I tell you what he told everyone there, remember, the truth of your value, the truth of your purpose, the truth of your destiny, the truth of happiness has nothing to do with money, drugs, sex, alcohol, pornography, fame, fortune, or anything else that this world can ever give you. Title, position, acknowledgement, recognition. Empty. When you know with truth and faith, you know that you've been born and created for a greater purpose. And that we all can agree upon this, to make the world a better place. To not judge one another, to love each other equally, to respect one another, to do everything in love and kindness, to be quick to forgive, slow to judge. If you say you have friends, make sure that you are indeed a friend to them. Not just say, how are you? Oh, everything's fine. Nothing's fine sometimes. And sometimes you need a friend. Be the friend for someone else. Let's get real. Everyone say, let's get real. Let's make a difference. Let's show more love. So with all of that said, and all that foundation of these 8 principles I've given you, now I'll tell you to get hungry. Get hungry. My wife and I, we've been having discussions lately where we are just so inspired by the people around us. You know what my wife said? We were discussing some things in bed. And we just paid off our home this week. 35 years old, paid off our home this week. We've been reinvesting, doing real estate developments. We went flipped houses in Dallas, Texas. We cashed in on rental properties, made 70% of all of our investments. Cashed in, now we're building 39 homes in Dallas, Texas. And then we paid off our home at the same time. We finally feel like, wow, what a milestone at age 35. She's 30. And we looked at ourselves and looked at each other. And we were talking about dreaming and making a difference in the world. You know, we want to do the orphanage in Mexico and buy some land in Serbia. And you know what she said? She said something I'll never forget. She says, there's so much money out there in the world, you just got to go and get it. It's not this rocket science. It's not this like, big comment, do it home, be good, do home. I want the money. No.
when someone has a goal and they take one step at a time and they don't focus on what they don't have and they use to their best ability what they do have, and they keep on going and they research and they see obstacles not as barriers but opportunities, and they dream big and never give up, those are the people who are hungry. When you're hungry and you smell food, you want the food, baby. You start drooling. I am so hungry. I can do that honey pork any day you guys got out here. It's amazing. I want you to understand. How bad do you want it? Maybe do something that makes you hungry for it. What will you do something different today? Not just treating people, but setting those goals. My life was hard. And in the difficult times, you know what I did? I put a picture of an African orphan on my mirror. That every day I wake up, I knew it was going to be a hard day. But I knew that once that day was over, I'm a day closer to my dream. Are you with me? Yes. With a loud voice, repeat after me. I today. Double volume. I today am fully convicted that I am unique, I am possible, and I'm beautiful, just the way I am. I today make a conscious decision to dream big, to go to the next level, and to give myself a chance. From this day on, I will do my best to be my best friend. I will do my best to love myself and try. And when I fail, I will try again. From this day on, I will do my best to achieve my goals and make the world a better place. I will be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope, and a shining light of love to let the world know that we all can make a difference. I will do my best from this day on to dream big and never give up. Give yourself a round of applause, New Skin Southeast Asia! Everyone say, I am possible! Wonderful. Give each other a high five and have a seat. So, what I want you to know is those 3 obstacles that you wrote down, most of them are possible to overcome. When I do this survey in front of 7,000 people, there are maybe 8 people that wrote an obstacle down that will never change. And they say it's their health issues or physical limitations, and that's when I say, yeah, me too. What we got to understand is that whatever obstacles that are standing in the way between us and the goal, that we can achieve, overcome, and try. You just got to be ready with the mindset of being the person saying, I am possible. Lastly, turn to the person next to you and look him in the eye and say, you are possible. Go. Very good. New Skin, did you enjoy my speech today? Did it motivate you? Did it inspire you? But most of all, did it teach you something?
Very good. We have a really cool opportunity now for Q&A. And there was a competition here at New Skin to ask me a question, and they actually chose 3 questions out of all the competition that were actually pre-recorded on video. And so we're going to go through those 3 videos, and then I think we're going to open it up to the room. I'm not too sure about that. I forgot about that. But let's do the videos now of the 3 questions from people. Here we go. We got Chung Lee Short.
Hi Nick, my name is Lisa. I'm from Malaysia and I've been in New Skin for 5 years. So the reason why I'm in New Skin is because of my mom. My mom, hi. Yeah, so she's fighting cancer now, and that's one of the reasons why I came into New Skin to have more time to spend with her, and in order to make her proud as well. And okay, my questions to Nick is, what do you say or actually do to help other people to find their purpose or even their dreams in life? You know, do you have like anything that inspires them, or what can we do to let others realize that? And I hope to see you and to show my mom that, you know, God make miracles happen. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Julie Short. Well, first of all, as you can imagine, my parents just loving on me and encouraging me was very inspiring to the people around them. And the fact that Chung Lee Shun can just be there for her mom and encourage her and do her best and do her best to supply the needs of her family, provide for her family, that's inspiring itself. And so, can we first of all thank her for the question and the support she is to her mother. Such a great example. To never forget the elderly, and especially our family, is the biggest thing. She did mention the word God, and we all have different faiths, but for me, having a faith in God and believing that miracles can happen, but even when a miracle doesn't happen, you can still be a miracle for somebody else, is the fact that her mother can probably encourage other people as well, without her really even knowing it. And I just want you all to know that we all go through ups and downs, and we need each other. And I really believe that we discount or belittle the impact that we have of just living day to day as good people, noble people, encouraging one another, being there for one another, helping each other out. And really maybe whether it's having a purpose to then really assist the elderly or make money to then go into cancer research. There's actually a fact where if you actually look at all the pioneers and foundations of every non-profit organization, most of them were started from people who are personally affected by the cause they are fundraising for. Does that make sense? What we gotta understand is when there are bad things happening, there's always a way that can be switched to a point that it can be used for positive and turned into something good. And so with faith, family, and friends, I really believe that us being a friend to anybody, knowing that, look, maybe we don't understand how it feels to have a parent who's struggling with cancer, or maybe we do, but we at least are here for one another, and friendship and love and sincerity really to me is something that brings out purpose. And whether she has after that a business or starting a business from this, or encouraging the elderly, or starting a foundation for cancer and help people who are struggling with that as well, just the possibilities are endless. And I don't really have a cookie cutter answer to that, but I really believe keep on going, keep on looking for it, and you'll find it. Thank you so much for the question. Next question. Christine.
Hi, my name is Christine Javier and I'm from the Philippines. I have been with New Skin for 7 years. This business is the main source of our family's income. Because of this opportunity, it allows me to be a stay-at-home mom to my daughter, and the time that it gives also allows me to be a homeschooling parent. My question is, prior to the success that you are experiencing now, what were the habits that led you to become unstoppable?
Awesome. Thank you, Christine. Let's thank her for the question. So everything that I've shared with you is what I apply in my life. And so I always start my day with meditation and being thankful for what I have. And I feel like the habits
of always being thankful and not focusing on what you don't have, being thankful for what you do have is a wonderful habit to have. Also to understand that you being honest and having an honest reflection of yourself. Let me tell you actually one of the things that have really helped me to go to the next level. It's actually every 6 months, you know, whiteboards or blackboards, whatever. I have 6 whiteboards at home. And every 6 months, because I actually have categorized my life in 10 different things. My family, my faith, my for-profit, my non-profit, my innovations, my real estate development, and other things. 10 layers. Every 6 months, I fill up 6 whiteboards of everything. All my dreams, everything I want to do. And then I prioritize them. And based on my life changing so much, things change. Sometimes then priorities need to change. The way that you live before you're married is very different with your time management and prioritization than after you getting married. Your prioritization and time management therein changes when you not only get married, but you have a child, then 2 children, now 4 children. You have no idea how difficult it has been to get me from a single bachelor who was on the plane every 3rd day for 4 years straight. I was home one of those years, 35 nights. I was home. I don't even know why I even had a house. I should have just lived in a hotel. To then go from 270 days on the road to then telling my wife, I will not propose to you until I have a more solid, stable schedule. It took us 6 months to get back to 130 days. We didn't have a lot of money at that time. In January 2011, I actually started 6 companies with $260,000. And 16 weeks later, I lost all my money for the second time. If you don't know what it feels to lose money, all of your money the first time, you don't know what it means the second time. And the second time, I collapsed into anxiety attacks. For 30 days, I was depressed. And what came out of that were not just many lessons that I learned in business, that everything takes 2 to 3 times longer, that everything is more like 2 to 3 times more expensive, that your revenue is more like 30% of what you really think it's going to be, and that it's also going to be 3 times longer before you see the 30%. And then, you can't trust anybody when someone takes $50,000 from your bank account. So with all of that happening, you got to understand that money comes and goes. But in that, when I told my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, hey baby, I just lost all my money. You know what she said? That's okay. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll get a nursing job and support the both of us. And that's when I knew I wanted to marry this girl, because she would be with me always. From that day on, I was listing things that I'm thankful for, and every 6 months, I realized that you can't do everything now. Things take time. Sometimes we take more than we can handle. There are seasons of sacrifice. We all understand that. When you're starting a business, you need to put 18 hours a day into your company, 6 or 7 days a week for several years. If you're not ready to do that, you're not ready to start a business. But if you're ready to do that, understand that as things build, you need to also then take a step back and make sure that your priorities remain your priorities, and that you never worship money as a thing that's going to give you happiness, and sacrifice all your fatherhood from being away from your child because you want to give him the biggest opportunity and the best college and the best university, that's wonderful to provide for your son, but it's also very much more important to be a father to your son and a friend to your son than be somebody who gives them the best education. To find that balance is extremely rare. In fact, no one ever finds the perfect balance. But why I am saying all of this is saying the truth. Hard work, ups, downs, very high highs, very low lows. You endure that, and every 6 months, practice being thankful, getting coaching, accountability, time management, and prioritization systems, when sometimes you have to let dreams die. Let me give you a piece of advice. Just because a dream dies doesn't mean you have to die. Because you ain't a dream. You're bigger than a dream. Do you understand? So all of that to say, be thankful, prioritize, time management, and balance to the best of your ability. Thank you so much.
We have now third question. It is from Chua, if I say it right. I'm sorry.
Hi Nick, how are you? I'm Chua from Malaysia, and I work for investment banking for almost 18 years before I joined New Skin. Now I'm a Blue Diamonds of New Skin. And I have two questions for you. Number one, how do you help someone to have more belief and convictions in themselves while on their journey in New Skin business? Number two is what would be the magic words for us in our Southeast Asia distributor to bring back home after this regional convention?
Awesome.
Last but not least, I wish you all the best to you and your family. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Chua. Here we go. So, how do you help someone have more belief in their convictions and belief in themselves in their journey of New Skin? You know what? One of the good things to do, which is an honest, great exercise and reflection, is that if you've been in this business for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, to look back. Look back at, let's say, rewind a year ago. Are you more stronger than a year ago? Have you learned more than you did at that time? Have you become more wiser? Have you become a little bit more courageous, perhaps? Have you kind of given yourself a little bit more credit and maybe not be so harsh on yourself? Have you been able to maybe develop a bit more of a thicker skin when someone puts you down or doesn't believe in your vision? I think a great way to re-energize your courage and convictions and self-belief is not just setting goals that are higher and forwards in the future, but really it's also to reflect on the past. Remember where you came from. Remember how more difficult you felt it was. You know, we are so interesting as human beings. Let me share with you. You turn around from the lines and you walk, and now all of a sudden, there's a huge wall. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is so difficult. And then 3 months later, you got through it. And then you walk. Oh my goodness, how am I ever going to get through this? And it's the biggest thing I've ever gone through. And 6 months later, you're still here. Oh no, look at this. No, go back. Do you remember how big these walls were? Do you remember how big the word impossible was? Remember impossible and now say, no, for this big next challenge, I am possible. Good? The second thing he asked, what would the magic words for us in Southeast Asia be for the conventional regional here convention?
as a member of New Skin and a distributor, I would say I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Give it to me. I'm hungry. I'm going to go for it. I'm hungry for more. I'm hungry for opportunity. I'm hungry to the point that I don't know how many times I need to fail before I'm successful. I don't know how many brick walls I need to bash down and how many mountains I need to climb and how many rivers I need to swim through. But I am ready. Why? Because my goal, my dream, my purpose, my passion is for me to get there. And if that means I need to fail 9,999 times, let it be, because I am ready to fail. Because remember, if you try something the first time and you get it, then maybe it's not much of an achievement. No one ever achieved great success without embracing failure as part of the journey. Embrace it, get hungry, and run. Love you, New Skin. Thank you so much.
New Skin Southeast Asia, please give Nick a big round of applause. Thank you, Nick, for filling this hall with full of learning and possibility, and for making us feel that I am possible.
Take care!
Once again, a big round of applause to the I Am Possible man himself, Nick Vujicic!